I just don't want you to know I can see through your masks.
War correspondents are journalists that report firsthand from a war zone. In our anti-war correspondence, we're bringing you segments from entertainment such as television and film that cut through the pro-war propaganda. This episode features a bit of a forgotten classic. Charlie Chaplin is best known for his silent film portrayals of The Tramp. Once talkies began to develop, Chaplin wasn't left behind like some of his fellow silent actors. 1940 saw the release of Chaplin's first true sound film, The Great Dictator. It's a satirical look at the rising fascist dictators of the time, and especially Hitler. According to Wikipedia, it was popular with audiences, becoming Chaplin's most commercially successful film. It was nominated for 5 Academy Awards and is still recognized as being historically significant. Chaplin plays both leading roles, a ruthless fascist dictator, and a persecuted Jewish barber. At the time of its release, World War II had already kicked off, but the U.S. didn't get involved yet until the end of 1941, after Pearl Harbor. So, Chaplin plays the Jewish private that is severely injured in World War I, while saving the life of a wounded pilot, Commander Schulz. 20 years later, he is released from the hospital to go back to being a barber, but still suffering from amnesia. However, the country is now under the control of the ruthless dictator, also played by Chaplin. And the barber has to live in the ghetto, governed by none other than Commander Schulz. The dictator tries to borrow money from a Jewish banker to fund his military, but the banker refuses. So the dictator orders the purging of the Jews. Commander Schulz protests and is sent to a concentration camp. He later escapes and hides in the ghetto with the barber. But then he's found and sent back to the concentration camp with the barber. They both escape in Nazi-esque uniforms, and humorously, the dictator, in his civilian clothes, is mistaken for the barber and knocked unconscious. Remember, they're both played by Chaplin. So now the barber, in uniform, is mistaken for the dictator, and now has to give a speech. Which brings us to the clip for the episode. The speech is one of the greatest anti-war monologues on film, and I'm happy to play it for you here. And this particular clip has some modern music to really drive home the message. I hope you enjoy.
I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible. Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical, our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities, life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say, Do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass, and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people, and so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, machine men with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you. You, the people, have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You, the people, have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world, that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things, brutes have risen to power, but they lie. They do not fulfill that promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world, to do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers, in the name of democracy, let us all unite!
This has been Anti-War Correspondence from Anarcho-Christian. Subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, Stitcher, and YouTube, or wherever you catch your podcasts. Also, visit us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. No King but Christ.
This has been a Pax Libertas Productions podcast.